Anyone who wishes to understand the mind of the sacred writers must first cleanse his own life and approach the saints by copying their deeds. Athanasius of Alexandria. Right. Rightfully so. I mean, he obviously speaks plainly on that one again. And having the church fathers in the Orthodox traditions is one of those things where it's a rarity to find that in the West. They don't have the tradition of the church fathers. Catholicism does to an extent, but Luther and Calvin are the two bigger ones I know when it comes to Protestantism. Lutheran Christians try to be their own thing and outside of Protestantism, but we all know they started Protestantism. I mean, Catholics were technically the first Protestants, but we won't get into that conversation. So, the thing that obviously when you go towards and approach the saints by copying their deeds, I don't look for that. I just try to, we just try to be good people. And maybe that's enough to be a saint. Maybe to do more, that's a saint. But it's usually being a saint is giving your life for Christ, giving your life for God. So it's one of those things where they're sanctified because Christ came back to sanctify the flesh. And he did sanctify the flesh by being fully God and fully man. So the sacred writers realize that you have to cleanse your own life. There's an ethos to it. There's a way to embrace the struggle or the eternal logos of the church to first cleanse your own life and approach the saints. That way, we know how it is when you copy their deeds. So now you are imitating the saints. You are imitating Christ. You are imitating the traditions. You are trying to become a better person. So that helps. That helps a lot. There's always a growth period. I mean, there's a constant growth period. There's not one size fits all either, because that's boring. But we're all made in his image. So in a sense, it's a cookie cutter kind of approach. But in another sense, it's not, because we all have the free will to choose to be good or bad, or to act righteously or unrighteously, or to, discriminate, judge, or to figure out, judging by somebody's actions, whether they're good or bad. And it's a form of judgment. But it's one of those things where these sacred writers, to understand what they were thinking and to understand what the church fathers were trying to achieve, it's something that Orthodox Christianity subscribes itself to. And the prescription in back to it enriches the traditions and the authorities of the church and her scriptures. So the fact that we have that, and those sacred writers do and can back it up, that is one thing that the West just has no idea. They have no clue. They have absolutely zero understanding or grip on it. They try to come up with more things. And that's not copying the deeds of the saints. That's copying more deception and leading a faithful flock of God, because people are going to be judged by what's in their hearts rather than what's in their minds. Well, the faithful will still listen, unfortunately, but the faithful will be misled. So that is why it is so important to know, to trust, and to particularly care what the church fathers had to say.